Jai Hind to all. Good morning to my IT tutorials. And today I'm going to cover your Session 6, and that is one of the important chapter of the Unit 3, a structured query language, that is a SQL. Now, a structured query language is the one of the language that we use to manage the database. We used to extract the data from the database. That's what it's called structured query language. Since this language has got on a structure to write, a specific kind of pattern we use to write it, that's what it's called a structured query, because basically it is used to extract the data from the database according to our need, and the language, since it has got on syntax to write it. That's why the chapter name is structured query language. It's the Session 6 of Unit 3 and the last again session of this unit, and very important, so kindly listen and watch this video carefully. It will help you to sort out all the problems related to the database. Now, first and foremost, the database, the languages of the database has been divided, or language of the database is divided into 2 or 3 parts. According to your book, there are DDL or DML. Now, first I'll cover what DDL is, data definition language. Now, data definition language is a set of language or a command which basically help us to define something new in the database. So once we create something new in the database, basically we are talking about the DDL setup command, or it is a data definition language. For example, create. To create table, to create a view, to create a query, to create an index, we are using a command called create. Now, create is basically a command under the DDL, or data definition language. So I hope DDL, data definition language, is a set of command or a language which help us to define something new. And in this list, first and foremost, we have a create command, then we have alter, A-L-T-R. Alter command also help us to change the structure of the old again object in the database with the new one. That's why the alter. Then we have a drop command, which also help us to remove something from the database. It's a new definition of the database we are establishing. That's why alter. Then drop and create command are the example of DDL category of the command. So I hope this must be very clear to you all. What is DDL? Is a set of command or language which help us to create something new in the database, through which you can create something in the database is called DDL category of the command. Now comes to the DML, data manipulation language. As the name suggests, data manipulation language is a set of command which help us to manipulate the data. Mind it. Set up command in SQL which help us to manipulate the data, which help us to modify the data, which help us to make some editing in the database is called DML. And there are 3 broad again prominent set of command we have in this. One is we have insert. Once we create a table, we have to insert the data, and the data can be inserted by the insert command. Then second is update. If you have committed some mistake during the entry of the data in the database, so update command help you to modify. And then the delete. Delete also help us to delete some data from the database object permanently. So insert, update, delete. These are the 3 command broadly again comes under the DML category. And last is select command also. You can keep the select command in also, because it helps us to see the data from the database. So these are the 4 set of command or 4 commands which basically again considered as an DML set of command. Now come to the third category of the command, that is called transactions control language. Mind it. Third category, I said transaction control language. Now this is again a set of command or a language which basically help us to manage a transaction. Now first and foremost, here we have to understand what transaction is. Now transaction is a basically logical set of a statement that basically execute in the database, which may be either complete or not complete at all. For an example, you can take an example of ATM bank cash withdrawal. I hope you all must have visited the ATM bank. Once we are talking, or once we are trying to withdraw an amount from an ATM machine, either you will get an amount or you will refuse by the machine. That 2 situation is only there. Have you experienced any time you again ask for the 500, you got the 200 and 300 you haven't got? I don't think so. Anyone have such experience with the ATM machine? The reason transaction cannot be partial, mind it. Transaction can be either complete or not complete because it's an online transaction, it's a database transactions. Database never permits us to have any transaction, any exchange of data between the database partially. So always transaction is a complete. 100% it will be either you will get the 500 rupees or you will be denied ki no money or no balance. But not at any circumstances you will get the partial money and you are not getting the rest money. That is the best example of transactions. So once I am trying to update my database, either it will be updated or no record will be updated. It's not that the half record has been updated and half record has not been updated. This situation you will never get in any database, and that's what's called transaction control language. So what is transaction? It's a set of logical command, and transaction is a logical set of command which may be either complete or not complete. Any again action of user which makes some changes in the database is called a transaction. Another way you can take any action of users which can make some changes in the status of data in the database is called a transaction. Even I have deleted two records, it's a transactions. Either the record will be deleted or record will be not deleted. Not any circumstances, or you may not face any circumstances where the one record I was trying to delete the two record, one record has been deleted, another record has not been deleted. I don't think you may face this kind of circumstances in the database. That's why it's called a transaction control language. So I hope transaction control language is a set of command or a language which basically help us to manage any transaction in the database. And what is transactions? Actions of data or any again action of the user which makes some change in the database permanently is called a transaction. Mind it. Transaction will be either 100% or transaction will be not at all, but never a transaction will be partial. The commands for the transaction is we have a begin tran, we have a commit tran, we have a save transaction, we have a rollback command, we have rollback to all. This is what the different again commands we have under this category. So I hope these three sets of command, DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, and transaction control language must be very again fine for you all. Now I am coming to the running SQL queries in base. Now running SQL query in base, that I'll speak. Running a SQL queries in a base. This is completely practical and I'll demonstrate this all on my computer. Kindly look it carefully and try it practically, and I hope you'll be able to do all the SQL command. So anyone who have that again in mind, that SQL query is a tough, I hope today it will be proved it's not tough, it's only tough till so far you have that thought. So kindly change your thought and see carefully my screen that I'm going to share how to write a SQL command in base. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Now my screen must be visible to you all, and as you can see, first I have to launch the base as you all know. So click here and go to the base. Now to open the base, you all know we have OpenOffice folder 4.7 and that currently I am selecting. So you can see this is OpenOffice 4.1.7 and under that we have a different packages of the OpenOffice. Click on the base. That's the first task you have to do, and I hope you are very habitual to perform this. Now it will open the base and it is asking me create a new database or open an existing database file. Of course we'll go for open an existing database because I have already created a database. Now you have to select the what database you want to open. So SKPPS school is my database that I want to open, and click on the finish. The moment you will click on the finish, you will get the database window, and in the front of you we have a database window. I have a few tables that I have already created like employees, hello, marks, students, and we have some queries also. These two things I have already created. Now this has been done directly in the base. Now I'll show you how to see the some data from this table directly by the SQL query, because the first and foremost command that you have in your book is select command. So I'll show you the function of select and how it can be used on computer. So kindly see it carefully. Now you have an insert, and under the insert we have a query SQL view. So click on it if you want to see the result of any query of yours. And here you can simply type the command that I'm typing. So you can see my screen, I'm typing select star from, and my table is a student. So I'm writing students. I hope this command of mine that I have written, first what I did, I went to the insert menu, and under the insert menu SQL query view that I selected, and you are here. If you want again that is required to be shown to you, so kindly see it. I'm again closing it and say no. Just go to the insert, see, just click on the insert and click on the query SQL view. Once you click on the query SQL view, you will get another window where you are seeing the query design. Just type the command that you want to do, and command is select star from student minded. The syntax select is a syntax, from is a syntax, but table name is not a syntax, that's why it's a green color, and rest of the two things you are getting the blue color. Blue color means it's a syntax of a SQL minded. If your command is wrong, the color may change. So whatever the command of the SQL you are applying, if the color is blue, it means it is a syntax part, and whatever is green, that is a user part. After this, you just have to execute it. So under the edit, you have a run SQL command. As you can see, under the edit menu, there is an option SQL run SQL command. You just say SQL run and then go to the edit and say run query. The moment you'll say run query, you will get the result of your again just a minute. Let me to try again. Maybe there is some problem. So SQL run SQL command directly and then go for the run query. Yes, now you are seeing the result here. Now this result is basically the result of, you can scroll it, all the records from the student table has been shown. 101, 102, 103, 104, these are the records of the student table. And my command was select a star from students. So what you have to do after writing the command, you have to go to the edit, and first you have to click on the run SQL command directly, and then you have to say run query. The moment you will click on this command, on the top again window or upper part of the window, you will get the result. This is how to run a SQL command in base directly as a select command. So that was the first command. Now I'll show you how to create a table. You can say yes or no, that depend on, do you want to save the changes? You can say no. Now to create a table, as you know, to create a table by the design view, by the wizard, that is known to you. But how to create a table? I'm going to create a table by the help of SQL Direct. For that, just go to the tools and say SQL. Moment you'll click on the SQL, you will be this window where execute SQL statement or written SQL command. Now here I have to type the SQL command to create a table. Now any table can be created, CREATE, you all know, create table, TABLE. I'm writing the command, create table and table name. As I have 4 table, employee, hello, marks and student. So I'm creating the customer table that is not there here. So I said create table customer. Command you can see carefully. Create table, both are in a blue color. Customer is a green because customer user defined, and create table is command. Press the enter and open the bracket. That is the syntax of that. You have learned how to create a table. To create a table, we have a command, create table, table name, that is up to me, bracket is start, and then each field of the customer, like a cust underscore code, cust code. So I have written cust code as a field. It's a green color because it's a user defined. You can say char 4. Char 4 means character data type and 4 size. You know, after every field you have to give the comma, so I'm pressing comma, press enter, then you can go to the cust name, that is the second field of your. So cust name is again varchar, you can write varchar, and under bracket you can give the size whatever you like to. So 30 I had given for the customer name. So two field I have created, cust code and cust name. Likewise, you will keep on creating if you want something else like a customer address. So say cust address, ADDRESS, cust address. And you can say cust address is again the varchar because ultimately we'll enter the character here. So 50 size I have taken for the customer address. Customer can have a date of birth also. The last page I am keeping DOB, that is the date of birth. And DOB is a date time, so simply say DATE. Now, DOB is a date time. This is the data type I had given, and there's all four again data or field I have created or I'm trying to create under the customer. As you can see it carefully, cust code, that is a char, cust name, that is a varchar 30, cust address, customer address, it is 50 size, and DOB, that is a date type. And then date may you haven't need to mention any address. Now since it's a last again field of mine, so I'm not putting the comma, you press enter or you can directly close here. So I'm just closing the table that I have created. Now if my syntax is okay, you just execute it and check it, is it okay or not. So execute it. Once you have executed, it is saying command successfully executed. So I hope you have seen how to create a table in the base by using the SQL command. Command must be very clear to you all. Kindly check it again. Create table, table name. Table name is up to you. You can give any name according to your need. Open the bracket either after the customer or press enter and the next line you can start it. Then each field should be separated by comma, field name, data type, then the size of it according to the data type, comma, another field, data type, comma, third field, data type, comma, and fourth field was the last. That's why we haven't given any comma. So comma should be till there is a field. If it is a last field, you have a need to give the comma. Date has a need of open close bracket. Date is by default 8 size and it will allow you to enter the 8 or 10 size depend on the format of the date. And the last, since I have started this bracket or braces, that I had closed here. So I hope this is clear and command successfully. But maybe you are dreaming or wondering that table is not visible to us. Now you simply close it and simply close this database. This you have to do. And then again load the base. You'll see, because it takes some time, and you open the OpenOffice, you will see one table customer has been created. Let's see. So again, I'm starting the base. I'm opening my database, that is a school database, SKPP is school, as I had opened early, and then say finish. And the click on the table. Are you seeing customer here? I hope it's very visible to all of you. Customer, employee, hello, marks, and student. Early it was not there. And if you like to see the customer table structure, just double click on it. You can see what I just created: cust code, cust name, cust address, and DOB. This is how to create a table. So I hope this must be very clear to you all. Now, if you want to go further, so two commands we have seen. How to see a data from a table, that is select a star from a student, select a star from customer. And for that we went to the insert menu. Under the insert we have a SQL view. Under the SQL view you will get a new window. There you have to type the command. Then you have to go to the edit menu. Under edit menu we have a run the SQL command and run query. Once you will do this, you will get the output. And to execute the other command, that is just to create something, we can come to the tools. Under the tools we have a SQL, and here you can type it. For example, now in this customer table, which is a newly created by me, I want to insert the record, because first and foremost, after creation of the table, we use to insert the data. And to insert the data, you all must be knowing we have insert command. So insert, I'm typing the command. Kindly look it carefully. Insert, then again into table. My table name is customer. Now here in the SQL, whatever table name you have, as you can see, my table name is in capital. Kindly give in capital. CUSTOMER. So I had given the insert into customer, and then command goes like values. Then inside the bracket, these values can be in a small because it's not required to be like that. Those SQL commands are not case sensitive values. So what I'm trying to do, insert into customers, then the values. Now I have a 4 field: cust code, cust name, cust address, and DOB of the customer. Accordingly, I'm entering. All are character data type. So I'm entering C001, and I kept in the quotes C01 I put in the single quotes because it is a character data type, comma, then cust name, suppose cust name I am putting as a Mukesh. Again in the single quotes I am putting, as you can see it here carefully, and then I am again giving the comma. Third is the address, so address I am simply putting Shivani, and after Shivani I am again trying to enter the date of birth of DOB of customer. Now mind it, keep one thing in mind, to insert the date in date field, we have to first insert the year. So suppose that Mukesh bought in 2 or 1990, then the month, and then the date. So what I'm trying to insert here, 1990-3-22, इसका मतलब 22-3-1990 को इसका बर्थ हुआ था। तो आपको क्या करना है यहाँ पे, you have to enter the first year followed by hyphen followed by the date, that month, that is a 03. If it is a 1 digit, then put the 0 before it. If it is a 2 digit dates or month, like a 12 month, so 1 2, there is no need of 0. Since it's a third month, that's why I put the 03, and then 22 was the date on which he bought. Close the bracket. So this is a syntax. Now it's clear, very clear. Insert into customer values. Each value should be separated by comma. Text value should be there in the single quotes, and numerical value date also should be there in the single quotes. Mind it, though it is a date, but date treated as a text only in the SQL. After this, you can execute the query to check it's right or wrong. As you can see, command successfully executed. You just close it and then try to open the customer. Now once you open the customer, you are seeing here one record already entered. So this is what C01, Mukesh is a name, cause address is Shivani, and date of birth as you are seeing 22-3-90, because हमने 22 or third month or 1990 दिया था date of this. You can expand it likewise. So this is how to insert the data. So I hope third command of the SQL you have seen how to run. First add shown, select a star. Kindly see this video again and again to insert or to select the data from a database or from a table by using the SQL command, because of course in one shot it may be not clear, but you have all options to go back and forward. So kindly reverse back this video and check that, try that again, and once you will be successful, then only proceed. Second command I had shown you how to create a table, and create a table command you have seen, create table, table name. Third command I had shown you how to insert the data. So I hope these three commands must be very clear to you. Now this inserting a null value. Now if you want to insert a null value, though I'll cover this all inserting null values onward in the next video, because otherwise this video will be very lengthy and it's already again like 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes. So I'm stopping it. Kindly look this, and in the next video, that is the second part of this video, you will see the other portion of this SQL command. So by tomorrow I'll be able to cover it. It's my humble request to all, kindly look, kindly watch, kindly observe keenly again this video and try to do the all SQL, because it's a very important chapter and more weightage are also there for this chapter according to the CBSE syllabus. Thank you all.